Folks, are you tired of people telling you your band is too darn loud when you're just trying to practice in your house or garage? Well, if you live in Austin, I have the solution for you. That's Space Rehearsal and Recording. Space is a state-of-the-art affordable venue for rehearsal and recording, located just a few short miles south of downtown Austin. They have 31 spacious rooms, great PAs, fantastic courteous staff. They have everything you need to get your artistic business together at Space. Find them at 512-448-9518 or go to spaceatx.com and start playing as loud as you want in Space, Rehearsal, and Recording. Let's get down. Attention Austin guitar players and bass players. Are you in need of setup or repair on your axe? Well, I have the guy for you, gang. That's Jason Swedberg over at J. Scott Lutherie, and you can find him at J. Scott Lutherie on Instagram. Now, if you listen to the show, you know I've been talking about Jason for years. Why is that? Because I've been taking my guitars to Jason for over 20 years. Not only does he do the best job, but he has the best prices and the fastest service in town. Again, find him at J. Scott Lutherie on Instagram. Not only is he doing an amazing job repairing and setting up guitars, he is now building guitars. That's right. He built me an SG Junior, which I have, and it sounds amazing. It feels great. It's the very first SG Junior he ever built. I've got a J. Scott Lutherie SG Junior. You can go see him at J. Scott Lutherie on Instagram. Get a guitar built. Get your guitars fixed. Get them set up. It's time, man. They've been hanging on the wall all through COVID. Now it's time to get them out, get them fixed, and get out there and play. J. Scott Lutherie on Instagram. Let's get down.
And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
It's time for How Did I Get Here? And now here is your host,
All right. Hello, I'm Johnny. I'm your host. Welcome to the show. I hope you guys have all had a good week. I would like to start off by thanking everybody who wished us a happy 10th anniversary on Tuesday. Tuesday was our 10th anniversary. This is the first show of our 11th year. How exciting. I've talked to so many people. 1,081. That's what episode this is. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're here, you know? I hope you guys all had a good week. I hope you had a good weekend. I played with Skyrocket last weekend at 310. I talked about it on Monday's show a little bit, or on Tuesday's show a little bit. But what happened was I woke up on Monday and I had an itch in my throat. And as you can tell, sound a little stopped up. I'm a little itchy in the throat. Had the corona breakdown, like, oh shit, I've got it. Why did I do that show? What happened to me? What are we doing? We're in stage 5. And it is a little fucked up. It is a little weird. In fact, we're keeping in contact as a band throughout all this stuff and kind of figuring out that we've got some public shows this weekend. Tonight, San Antonio at Sam's. Tomorrow night in Houston, Rockefeller's sold out. I think we're going to hold off on the majority of the public shows here and only do things outside if we can and stuff like that because the numbers are going up. Anyway, I wake up Monday. I've got the freak out. One of my best friends has a DNA testing lab and they do COVID testing. So that afternoon I went and got a COVID test. It was a quick one. I was negative and talked to doctors that I'm related to that were like, hey dude, there's colds going around. So anyway, I went to the doctor today and I should hear back sometime today about my long-term COVID test. But I went to the doctor today and they're like, yeah, you have a cold. That's happening. That's still a thing. But it doesn't stop me. That was the most scared. I mean, obviously throughout this whole coronavirus thing, since this pandemic has come in last year in 2020, we all wake up having a little bit of allergies, thinking we got the Rona. We all wake up maybe with a cold, thinking we got the Rona. You wake up with an itchy throat, you got the Rona. You know what I mean? Like there was a point last summer where my finger was itching and I was like, I wonder if that's a symptom. I'm not joking. That's how paranoid I was. And, the scare of having it, even though I haven't gotten my long-term test back, I don't know for sure that I don't have it, but I feel a lot, I felt bad for like 2 days, which is what people that are vaccinated feel like. So it's so weird, It's so weird having to live with this. and having to deal with this. And then being a person that has public gatherings in a time when public gatherings should not be being had. It's all tough, man. And there's a lot of stuff wrapped up in it. And I'm in a group that makes decisions together as a band, you know? You make that decision to go in all for one for all, and you get outnumbered and you do shows, you know? And that's the way it works. And hopefully this weekend we'll get out of there safe, and then we'll just do private shows for the rest of the year, and we'll be doing good. Hopefully. Oh, Lord. It's crazy, man. People are out there canceling gigs now, but people are still playing them too. You know, you're seeing both things. You see here in Austin, they canceled the Blues on the Green. Probably a good idea. It's a giant thing of people, even though it's outside. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling safe. I didn't even talk about how great the celebration was for my 10th anniversary podcast. So I'm feeling a little sick, right? I've got this cold and stuff. My girlfriend was going to take me out to dinner and celebrate, and there was even going to be other people involved. But as the days got closer, we canceled the reservations, we canceled the other people, and then she's like, "Hey, I'm going to roast a chicken for you. I know how you love chicken, because I do." And so she did. She roasted me a chicken. She made salad. She had hors d'oeuvres, and she got me presents, like this cool cap I'm wearing, a couple cool shirts, and a nice card. Felt great. It was really nice to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of this show with somebody special. So I want to thank Terry for being so great. She is a great girlfriend. And I'm a lucky dude. Gang, I have a great show for you today. My dear old friend, Wayne Sutton from Sister 7, from Little Sister, from Pike and Sutton. Wayne Sutton has a brand new album out called Blue Worm. It came out last month. It is gorgeous. You got to get out there and check it out. Amazing songs, amazing songwriting, and of course, as always, stellar guitar playing from Wayne Sutton, who's a master of guitar. But you know what people don't talk about very much? The guy's a great fucking singer too, and an amazing songwriter. It's interesting, and I talked to him a bit about this, and I know I talked to Ryan Hawley about this as well, but I've been seeing Wayne play since my first memory of seeing him play, I think, is 1992 or 93. So I've been watching that guy for almost 30 years. I've watched him grow from his 20s into his 50s, go from a sideman guitar player to a frontman singing and making records and doing it, you know what I mean? And watching him grow as an artist. It's amazing to get to have that luxury, to watch someone develop their craft and kind of go through their career. Like when I have Wayne on, I don't have to do research on Wayne. I just listen to his latest thing, and I know what to talk to him about because I've been watching him the whole time, and I know what he's been doing. But this new record, Blue Worm, is absolutely gorgeous. Get out there and get it out. He produced it with a guy named Bill Palmer. They did an amazing job. Such a great singer. I talked to him about how there's some Eagles harmonies in there, and he told me he's been playing with this Eagles cover band whose name is escaping me right now. Anyway, he's doing that. He is celebrating with an record release show August 26th at Saxon Pub. But as things go, follow him on Facebook, look at his Instagram, make sure that the show's actually still happening, because things are being canceled, things are being moved, and I know Saxon Pub closed for a week so that people could make sure they didn't have the Rona because somebody there had the Rona. Anyway, as I'm saying, he's playing August 26th as I'm putting out this podcast. That's what we know. Great songs on this record. Very, very great songs. And it's interesting to watch an artist grow, to be extremely comfortable in their skin, and to kind of get into, like, go through their Jedi training. And then you get to see them in their 50s making their Jedi music. And this record's great, Blue Worm. Get out there and check it out. Wherever it is that you stream and download your jams, this song is called Whiplash. It is on the album. And so without further ado, let's talk to my dear friend, my dear old friend, the amazingly talented and very, very cool Wayne Sutton. Let's get down.
Winter slide, teenage ride, and ambush hide, and stop the sign, and it all seems to catch me from behind. Bones are breaking, hips are shaking, gamble's faking, no mistake, and getting darker as I follow the blind. The ice is cracking, dogs are tracking, kinda stacking, keep attacking, and it seems like they're coming
crazy.
from all sides.
How do you like it? You been getting out there and playing shows? I see you've been playing shows.
Yeah, I played a little bit. I was just changing the strings on my guitar for the first time in a year and a half.
Really?
I thought maybe I should do that.
Hey, let me ask you a quick question before we get into this. I like new strings. I change my strings a lot. Like when I'm on tour every day.
Yeah, when I was on tour, I would change them at least every other day.
Yeah. What about?
I would break them all the time.
Right.
But now I have my Fender Telecaster thing with the Bigsby,
Yeah.
and it's so hard to change the strings.
You know what I got? I got one of those things that you
got
slip
the
in
thing?
there. Yeah.
You like it?
Because yeah, I love it because I can change my strings.
I was looking at South Austin Music one day, and I was looking at those, and this guy, one of the techs, not Ben, but the other guy, was just like, "Well, man, it totally, changes the sound." I was like,
I would try it first before you get too bent out of shape. Hey, man.
"Yeah, I'm sure it'd be fun."
This Blue Worm album is fucking great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know what I like about it, outside of the fact that the songs are great. We'll talk about some of the songs and your guitar playing and stuff, but I love the vibe of it is great, like a Sunday morning album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just put it on.
I'm always shooting for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always shooting for the Sunday morning records.
Having coffee, reading your phone instead of the paper.
Yeah. Of course.
When did you do it? Did you record this yourself? Is there no one else involved or something?
It's my buddy Bill Palmer is the producer.
Okay.
So he lives in Santa Fe, and I met him on tour with Patrice. We did a live in studio thing at his studio in Santa Fe, Frogville at the time, which is where we recorded the Pike and Sutton record.
Okay.
We just met and like instant connection. So I knew I wanted to do a record like this with him. So when the pandemic came and there was nothing else to do, and I suddenly had a bunch of songs.
Yeah.
I called. I was like, "Hey man, can we meet out?" I knew he'd recorded around Big Bend, and I was like, "Can we meet out there in the desert and record a record?" And he was, "Fuck yeah!"
That's awesome.
So we recorded in the church in Terlingua.
Wow. How long did you do it? Like just a couple of days?
4 days.
It's not bad.
It was like 110. And, like right in the middle of the pandemic. So I don't know if you spent any time in Terlingua, but there were probably 15 people in the town.
No,
So
I've never really spent much time there. I did go to Marfa though in May.
That's the big city.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the big city. So, man, your guitar playing is so amazing, and your electric guitar playing is so tasteful that, like, it's interesting to watch someone from very early in their career to now, which I've had the luxury of doing with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I first met you and saw you and became aware of you, there were some long ass guitar solos going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's interesting that thing as you get older, not that that's distasteful, but you have kind of grown into this, like every note on this record, both vocally and musically, is just so tasteful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something you can only get with experience. There's no way you could do that record at 20, or I couldn't.
No, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I would have for sure. Yeah, I think it's definitely a 52-year-old record.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. And working with Bill, like he's really good at getting good sounds. So basically we're just like, we rented, the church was like $100 a day. And it's just an old Adobe church, but sounds good. And it's super vibey. And I knew he could get like the good sounds. And he was really good about not letting me be too precious about anything.
Right.
So I was I got to do this. And he's like, "Oh no, like it's good. Let's just come back and listen to it tomorrow."
Would you?
I was always like, "Oh, that's fine. You're right."
Would you, if left to your own devices, are you like over perfection-y?
I can be. I'm a wide range. I'm never in the middle.
Okay.
I'm either way too over perfection-y or like I don't give a fuck at all. So I'm always trying to find a balance. But I will like just rush through stuff a lot of times. It's like, that's good. That's fine. It's fine.
What?
And I found that works most of the time.
Yeah. It's basically like I've heard people I've worked with, a guy I worked with, used to refer to as using the force.
Yeah.
Like, just use the force. Like, don't sit there and think about it all day. If you have to, then it's not worth it. It's not going to be great.
So
Which isn't always true either.
Right. But I have kind of come to that as I've gotten older.
Yeah.
Like, just go and try to hit it. Usually, and even with like guitar solos, which is where, I've spent countless hours driving people insane.
Well, these are all...
Usually whatever I did first was just as good as what I did
right.
50th.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you've kind of...
It was like lose friends.
You've kind of grown into this... like almost Mike Campbell kind of guitar player.
That's always the goal.
You know what I mean? That's totally serving the song, that if the song does need hot dogging, you can shred, but that's not the point of the song.
Yeah, yeah. Mike Campbell should be the hero for everyone, I think.
Oh, totally, man. And you know what's awesome, too? Okay, let me get into some of these songs because, and this record's available. People can get out if you want to stop it right now and go listen to these songs before we talk about it and then come back. All these podcast things save your place, and you'll pick up right where you left off. But this Blue Worm record, there's this song in particular, What on Earth?
Yeah.
Which is really like, that's basically like growing old with somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was definitely a moment early on. I think I probably wrote that in April last year. So pandemic was just starting. Lauren had just started working from home.
Yeah.
That was the point where I realized we were about to like spend 24 hours a day together for a while.
Yeah. Well, how was it?
It's been great.
Oh, good.
We've been, I mean, just, we have been married 25 years in September.
Wow.
So there's a lot of, but it's been like awesome for us. Great for our family, having like our kids stuck at home. Great for us. I don't know if it was great for them, but.
Yeah. What's awesome though is that you're at that place in your life where you can look and reflect on those things and look at them in a realistic way, like the ups and downs, as opposed to like in a youthful way. And I'm sorry to keep referring to it, but today it really dawned on me when I was listening to the record a couple of times in a row, just how we were these like children on 6th Street running around in like cut off shorts and vests with no shirt.
Yeah. Easy living.
Yeah. And now, listening to these songs, like, it's not just like when I interview somebody that I don't know. I really watched your whole life, like, unfold for the last almost 30 years.
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to see that inform these songs and just kind of like that you're able to take in your own life and put it back out in like this very poetic and beautiful and realistic way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the goal. And I think, I'm sure everyone did this. I've listened to a ton of your podcasts. That was part of my pandemic experience. But
Good.
I know you're like saying you're like stuck in your apartment by yourself.
Yeah.
So I was with my family, but there was really, for me, it was such a moment to breathe.
Yeah.
I also teach school.
Right.
So like the school shut down and I didn't have to do a little bit of work on the computer. I just had to like give, they didn't really care a whole lot about art.
Yeah.
At that point. All the art, music and art and drama, like we just had to come up with a couple of assignments. And any kid that could do it, that wanted to do it, they just picked whatever they wanted to do. So mostly I was just walking, I started walking like 12 miles a day.
That's
great. I had
great.
time to write. I had time to just sit. So it was a lot of thinking about the past. It was a time to reflect.
Yeah.
Because you weren't like, oh, I got to do this and I got to buy this. And
yeah.
it was really awesome. So I really felt, and I feel like the songs, you probably would know the songs that I wrote like at the beginning of Little Sister, but when I was just like living, we weren't really doing anything, and I was just sitting writing songs without any kind of agenda.
Right. Yeah.
So it really felt like that, and I also feel like it kind of took. Sorry, I keep grabbing these pencils for no reason. I don't know. Like a missile drummer. It kind of took me back to the same vibe of music too. I guess just like the that relaxed state. So kind of got me back into like the Neil Young kind of vibe. And so I spent a lot of time listening to Neil Young around this time.
Yeah.
Like music that I listened to when I was, 10 or 19.
Yeah.
It kind of goes.
Right.
Pick it up every 10 years, and it's like a different thing to me.
What were you listening to, like Harvest and like Harvest Moon and stuff?
A little bit of that. I mean, I would just put on Spotify and let all the Neil Young play.
Yeah.
But my favorite stuff is Four-Way Street. You know that record? The Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young live album.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of the first record that I really remember like staring at the cover. But on that record, it's his version of the acoustic stuff of Cowgirl in the Sand.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the first, I don't know, I was probably like 10 or 11. But it was the first song where I was like, oh, this person's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But they're, like, it's something. It's something that's just coming from that person. So I think that was kind of my wanting to be a songwriter kind of thing.
Yeah. Who else influenced you in that way?
Early or like throughout?
Throughout, or did anything?
I mean, Joni Mitchell's huge.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest one. Dylan, all the obvious. Ricky Lee Jones, I love.
What did you think of that? What did you think of that super long Dylan song that came out last year? His first #1 song.
I loved it.
As an artist.
One of my favorite songs ever.
Was it?
I listened to it probably 50 times.
I listened to it twice.
I love that record. It's a long. Well, like I told you, I was walking like 12 miles a day. So I listened to that album a lot. Like I love that album. Like I thought it was just so. I love the production. I think it's genius. And I felt like he kind of, to be 80 or whatever.
Yeah.
He was like, I got this.
Yeah.
I could still write these like 13, 15 minute epic. So like I just love the record. Like I loved it. I was totally blown away.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot to take on the day that I listened to it, I think.
It's super intense. Like I was playing it for my son. I was like, oh man, you gotta listen to this record. It's so great. He's like, yeah, Dad. Like I tried. He's like, I don't think I'm old enough for that.
Well, no way.
Yeah.
Aren't you friends with Matt Chamberlain? Or don't you know Matt Chamberlain or?
Barely. I mean, I know the rest of those guys. I don't really know him. I'd like to.
The Bohemians. But he's the drummer on that record. Or he played whatever extra percussion. Yeah, he's been playing drums with him.
Oh, that's awesome.
I just realized that the other day.
But yeah, when I was in Dallas, and he played with the band Tin Hands.
Yeah.
So I went and saw him. So when I was like 16, that was the dude. Matt Chamberlain was like my hero.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
In Dallas, there weren't a lot of. I mean, there were great guitar players, but I was not the kind of guitar that I liked.
Right.
But there were because of North Texas, there were all these amazing drummers.
Yeah.
And Matt was my hero. Like I was just like,
yeah.
Like he left that band to join the New Bohemians, and I was like, oh, they're finished. They're finished.
Who? Tin Hands?
They got Earl Harvin. Yeah. They got Earl Harvin.
Yeah. No slouch.
I saw him. I was like, oh, okay, they're fine. They're good.
What an amazing. Did you see, like, I can't remember. Maybe it was during the pandemic. Somebody texted me and was like, "Hey, the big one is coming. Is on Spotify."
Yes, I love that record.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I love.
Super fun.
Yeah,
that's a lot of sweaty nights for me.
Yeah. Where did you used to go see them? You saw them in Dallas?
Yeah, Club Dada a lot.
Yeah,
but then I would like go to Denton and see them and stuff.
Would they ever play inside? I remember playing inside when they played outside one time.
I always saw them inside.
Inside?
Like it was always super hot and sweaty and shirtless. And so, for the most part, because I wasn't old enough to drink at that time.
That's what I remember that like late 80s, early 90s as just like sweaty, dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Shorts on stage.
Yeah. no shoes. Shorts on stage.
No shoes. I wore no shoes in my band in 1989 and 1990.
Yeah. I don't think I wore shoes till 1992.
So as far as like playing for so long and like touring for so long, and I know that you probably haven't been touring as much in the last decade or so as you did as we did in the 90s, but you still played a lot. And I've noticed that a lot of people coming out of the pandemic have sort of taken a hard look at what they were doing before and what they want to do now, especially people our age.
Yeah.
And I see a divide. Like half of them are like, I'm putting out records. I am playing every gig I can. Like Scrappy, Scrappy's playing so much, he's playing midnight on Wednesdays at like Continental Club. He's so excited to play. But then dudes like Bob Schneider, I know that he's sort of reinstated it. But when I talked to him a couple months ago, he was like, no, I'm not doing Mondays anymore.
Yeah. I listened to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can relate to all that. Like, I don't... Patrice and I went and played a show in Northern California, and we had a show booked, and it was awesome. But Lauren and I just, it didn't really... It paid enough for my flight. And then Lauren and I just went and drove through Oregon for a week.
That's cool.
So that's my idea.
Right.
Like, can you get me somewhere? I'm not going to Kansas.
Right.
I'm not going to, I'm not even going to go to Chicago. I don't want to go Midwest, I probably just want to go West. Like, I just want to go somewhere I want to be, and then I'll do it. But I really liked what Bob was saying. He's like, I'm just playing for the same 100 people.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, and they love me, and it's awesome, but
yeah,
there's a like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And I have a job, so when the point was to make money, it made sense.
Right.
But I would rather be here and have a job and be able to like do stuff.
Yeah.
Make records. Yeah. I have the money to pay for my records.
That's the oddest thing. Like I work with the Austin Music Foundation, and in like a when I was doing consulting there, that was just the thing that people that was their thing. They, a young person doesn't want to have a job. They want to get paid for playing music.
Right.
And there was a time where there was enough of a middle class of music where dudes like us could jump in a van and cruise around with our bros and somehow make rent. Everything was cheaper.
Yeah. Rent was cheap.
Right. Everything was cheaper, and you could do those gigs, and we were all guys that honed our craft playing the longest shows that this side of like Hamburg or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
yes.
I always wondered if the rest of America, if people came up in that, like, your goal was to headline and then you were playing 2 to 2.5 hours every night. And there were people like us doing it weekly.
Yeah.
And people were coming every week.
Yes, that was the amazing thing to me. Like, I can't imagine that now where...
No.
On that level, right? I mean, you could get...
Yeah.
You could like... There's people that can, like, fill up the continent, but, like, somewhere, like, as big as Steamboat...
Right.
I can't picture, just a venue that size.
Yeah.
There's not really that kind of medium to, where you can do 800,000 people. There's not really a lot of those. And if you could do that and play every week and it would be packed.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't seem like reality anymore.
Yeah.
So I think right. I mean, I think it's obvious. You have like all these. It's either huge or everyone else is kind of. There's not like. Whereas in the 90s, we were all kind of in that mid level.
Right. There was.
Right. Your difference was like 200 people.
Right. Yeah.
But we're kind of all in that zone where you could play the same clubs, bringing the crowds. And now it's like we have like the Gary Clarks and Black Pumas and stuff, and then everything else is kind of there's just not a lot of that middle.
Yeah. The one thing that I was thinking about and talking to somebody about, might have been Alex Vallejo or something, just about that time, like it pushed me to be so prolific, because even like when Mr. Rocket Baby first started doing our weekly shows, we had like an hour and 15 minutes worth of music to play in 2 hours.
Yes.
And then like you finally get the 2 hours thing, and then you realize, especially with a pop band, you're just coming to see the same like 18 songs. You know what I mean? So I really fucking started writing all the time. Like all the time. To have more music. So, but I guess, what do you think that stuff gave you guys? And gave you, like you and Patrice? Like, what did you gain from those crazy long ass weekly shows that you used to do at the Black Hat. And I know those were 4 hours or 5 hours.
Yeah, like 3 to 4.
Okay.
Usually at least 3.5. 3.5. You know,
Like how many songs did you have when you started that?
maybe 12.
See what I mean?
That's how we became a jam band. For sure. For sure. We did not have that many songs. But, you know, I was already into like the jam music. Like I was really into Santana at the time. And
Yeah.
more, like I really liked the long Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin kind of jam. I was more into that as opposed to like the Grateful Dead stuff. I was never really like into that kind of jamming.
Right. But you guys at the beginning then sort of...
It was just playing. It was just learning how to play.
Right.
Because we did not spend a lot of time writing. I mean, we wrote stuff a lot, but, you know, it was really, even our writing was centered around
Yeah.
the playing more than the writing. So
Right.
That was the killer in the end, I think.
When do you think that shifted? Because then you actually became a band with like a charting song and a VH1.
Probably record companies, you know, arm
Yeah.
twisting. I don't know that it was the right move.
Do you
You
not?
know? We were like, well, do we want to try to be this thing?
Right.
I think we could have had some longer term success sticking in our little wheelhouse. I don't know. Who's to say? Sean, our drummer, he was not into the jam thing. He was like, you know, if we're not getting on the radio and doing that thing, I'm not doing it.
Right.
Yeah. And as soon as we weren't, he was out the door.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Smart. He's smart. He's smarter than everyone else.
Yeah.
I kind of knew it then, but I for sure know it now.
Right. Right. So let's talk about some of the teaching. What all do you get out of that? Like, is there, outside of getting paid, you have like...
I mean, at the school stuff, right, in school, the music, I mean, I teach like a rock band.
That's cool.
So that's really fun. And that's what I started doing at first. And I teach a songwriting class. So where I can really see the kids like improve over the year.
Right.
And some of them, like I saw a kid the other day that I'd never thought would play. Like he was the bass player because I was like, well, I can just play this one thing, right?
Right.
Just play this one note and
Right.
you get through it. And I saw him the other day. He's like, Mr. Sutton. You know, it's Tilden. I was like, it's like I play guitar all the time. I'm really stuck with it. Like I love it.
That's awesome.
So when you get those people and doing like the songwriting,
Yeah.
you know, I get kids that they just have no idea. Like they just think music is like magic.
Yeah.
Right? And it is.
Yeah.
But it's also a bunch of tools and a process. So when I can like kind of teach them the process and take a little bit,
Right.
so it's not just, you know, I'm like it gets a lot more magical
Yeah.
once you know all this stuff. But it's not like the low level of magic that you're thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can do it. Like there are rules, and just like math, you can put these things together and it's going to sound right.
Yeah.
You know, and build on that. So that's really awesome. And then like I teach 5th and 6th grade, which I never thought I would, like normal music class.
Yeah.
And then it's just trying to make them like it.
How do you do that?
So
Like, what do kids? Because music is so different now. Like, are you connected to nowadays music?
Yeah. So we do a lot of garage band stuff.
Okay.
I do that a lot. So even in their regular music, I'm trying to teach them a little bit of reading, and then we do like in 5th grade we do like they do a classical. They pick a composer and do like a slideshow. In 6th grade they do jazz. So there's a little bit of that, and then when we're doing that, I have it playing through the speaker all the time, just trying to get them to like it.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
But they like the garage band. Like they like to make stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the best. So I've kind of gotten more focused on that. Because that's, I mean, the other things you're going to learn about. We don't have a band or orchestra,
Right.
right? So I have like 18 kids for 18 classes. So I'm like, how do I get you into music? And some of them are great. Yeah, and then you find the people that don't like it at all, and you just try to get them to like it a little bit.
Right.
Right. And it seems amazing that there's people in the world that don't like music, but there are.
Oh.
There are kids, and they're like, I don't get music. I don't really like it.
Dude, yeah, I'm related to like two people. Like I brother and
They just don't
sister
like
that
music?
Yeah, my brother, I got in his car one day when I was in Miami visiting, and I opened the middle thing and he had 3 CDs and they were all mine, and I was like, wow, what a sweet brother I have, you know?
Yeah.
So I get back to the house and I was like, oh, hey man, I saw you had my CDs in your car. That was really sweet. And he goes, what do you mean? Those are the only 3 CDs I've ever had. And you gave them to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. They just don't. My sister doesn't. It doesn't affect her in any way.
Yeah. It's so that's my goal with them, is just to make sure at least they don't leave music class thinking music sucks.
Right. Well, can I?
Or music class is lame. So I try to make it fun. I try to get them to rock out a little bit and create some stuff, and I give them a lot of parameters, and I help them a lot, and I just try to be really nice.
Yeah.
I'm not the cool teacher. My big goal, I thought I was gonna be like the cool teacher, and I'm not.
That's weird.
And the longer I teach, the more, because like the teachers I really like,
Yeah.
that I know are the really good teachers, they're never the cool teachers, right?
I don't know.
I want them to like me. Well, they're
Yeah.
cool. I want to be that teacher that they realize is cool 10 years later.
Right.
Right. I don't want to be their buddy,
Right.
because it'll like for me, because I'm really nice and I'm not like a disciplined guy.
Right.
So if I let it go, like it's chaos.
Right. So you got to have
There was a day in class where I was working with one kid. And I looked over and there were like 4 girls just doing cartwheels. Now, granted, they moved my music class because of COVID.
Right.
They moved music down. They had to move all the rooms around. So my music was all in the cafeteria,
Okay.
which was, a nightmare.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
But yeah, I just looked over and there were just cartwheels.
Yeah.
I was just like, what is happening? What is happening? But then I also teach like a lot of privates. And I've had some great, like super great private students.
Awesome.
So there's a lot of. I have a girl that I teach. She probably just turned 17, and we like write. I quit charging her. She probably doesn't know. I'm sure I'm parents of like, huh. But there was a point I was like, all we're doing really is talking about music,
Yeah.
and then sometimes we like write some music, and we were starting to do that more and more. I was like, I don't feel right. I'm not really like
Right.
at the point where you're doing more mentor and less lesson.
Right.
Like I was like, oh, this is my friend, and we're talking about music and we're doing stuff like.
Yeah.
And she's good. She's really good.
That's awesome. So let me ask you this, because it doesn't seem like kids connect with music because there's so much other stuff to, you know what I mean? Like it seems like when we were growing up, and even video games started happening kind of as we did, but music was kind of the center of the culture.
Right.
It dictated what we wore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How we talked.
Well,
what group
I feel
you were
lucky
in.
Because I teach guitar.
Yeah.
The kids that want to play guitar, that are like those kids are always into that time period.
Yeah.
Right.
It's AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, the Stones.
They just want to do the same thing. Like they want to play a guitar, so they want to play guitar and music, and it's still that same kind of deal. And then like my son, he's about to turn 19 and just loves music. Like he's still like that, and it's totally different music.
Is he like your music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of it, some more than others.
Yeah.
He didn't love the Pike and Sutton record.
No.
He thought that was a little safe. So like his favorite bands like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Oh, okay. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, dude. Like the best band in the world.
Okay.
You got to check it out.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard?
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. They are great. They put out like 3 albums a year. It's a little bit. The last one was like really electronic, and I loved it. Some of it's super heavy, and it's kind of a little prog rockish at times. But like I said, they put out 3 records a year, and it's a super wide range of music.
Wow.
And they're really intense and awesome.
Awesome.
So you'll like it.
Okay. Yeah, I look forward to checking it out.
I sent Kevin McKinney a song one day, and he sent me a picture like 3 hours later, and he had like 4 vinyl. He went to the record store and bought like 4 records. I was like, yes, convert. And I haven't seen them live, but apparently they're just like the best,
Insane.
most rock insane live band. Yeah.
Is there anyone, did you, at least before the pandemic, were there people that you went to go see on a regular basis?
No.
No.
I mean, I would if I was a going out person,
Right.
and I would go out on a midnight on Wednesday. I would go see James McMurtry every week,
Yeah.
but I probably went twice.
Yeah.
But like that Wednesday night thing, that's the good one to me.
Yeah.
I just don't go out there. I keep planning on it. You know.
Yeah. Is there any new music? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Is there any new music you've found that you've, like, even under quarantine, like, oh, I found this kind of like outside of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard?
Yes, that's the big one. Yes, I'm blanking. I listen to them a lot. And there's another band called the OCs. That's kind of in a similar genre.
Is there anything like that is like, I'm trying to think of like pop music that has gotten you?
I mean, I like Harry Styles. All right,
Yeah, me too.
that's pretty good pop music. A lot of hip hop. Like my son listens to a lot of hip hop stuff.
Yeah.
So like Chance the Rapper and Childish Gambino. I like all that stuff a lot. My favorite record that I've listened to recently was that Fiona Apple.
Oh, yeah.
That new record. That's not new, I guess, but new to me.
Yeah.
But I listened to it probably 10 times in the last 2 weeks.
It's really great, man.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, on so many different levels.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, she's a superhero.
So that, and then Daft Punk, which is also not new.
No.
So I'm working on a new record with Steve Bernal.
Okay.
So he kind of do a lot of like late night text that kind of bullied me into making a record, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm gonna deconstruct all this bullshit, and we're gonna do this and da da da. And 4 in the morning, listen to this. You gotta listen to this, motherfucker. So a lot of classical music.
Yeah, because he's been playing cello now for...
Yeah. So, and he, like, his knowledge of that, mine is so tiny.
Right.
I know about like the big composers that everyone knows about.
Yeah, me too.
I teach in school, but he's just like, listen to this, like this symphony, this, whatever. And I'm just like, okay. And it's all mind blowing.
Yeah. So just the two of you guys, or is it?
We're going to record with John Bush.
Oh, awesome.
In his studio. So I think it's going to be a ton of percussion and a lot of strings.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got a text a couple weeks ago, and he was like, "I'm replacing all your acoustic guitar parts with electronic drums and strings." I was like, "Okay, that sounds great." So we're just kind of doing pre-production right now. So I go over there like once a week, and we change the keys and lose chords and lose all the ands and these and just all the extra words.
Right.
Scratch them out.
Oh, so it's not, but it's instrumental, right?
No.
You're singing?
No, so yeah, I'm singing. So I guess January, Brian Keane got me in one of the song game, song group.
Uh-huh.
You do that?
Not Brian Keene's, but yeah, I do get into them sometimes.
Well, I mean, you have
Yeah.
So since then, I've written, I don't know, 70 songs.
What are the? That's a lot, shit, man. What?
Well, because it's a song a week, right?
Okay.
It's just writing every week.
Amazing.
So the Blue Worm stuff is all just kind of, except for 2 songs, were just songs I wrote every week, like in that first couple of months of quarantine.
That's awesome. What are the parameters? Is it the same every week, like the title thing, or is it something else?
We do a prompt, but in this group, like, you don't have to use the prompt.
Oh.
So I think maybe Brian and Bob started it.
Right.
And then Bob was like, fuck that. Like, if you don't have to use the prompt. He's like, I'm not going to just listen to a bunch of people's random songs.
Right.
So at the beginning, and with Brian, it was a lot of Nashville people. So it's kind of more Nashville-y type of songs. And so I almost always use the prompt now, just because sometimes it's just a challenge.
Yeah.
And I started another group, so I have like Michael Kincaid and Lonnie Trevino, and then this dude named Justin Stewart that you might not know, but the guy I used to teach. It's a great songwriter. It's just kind of a small group.
That's good.
And I've had some, Susanna Schofel was in it for a little bit, and it's really hard to write a song a week.
Yeah, it is.
You know, I've had quite a few people that are in it for like 3 or 4 weeks, and they're just like, fuck,
Yeah.
too much.
To me, it's one time I was in one of those mob things when I played with this band Endosheen, and we were on tour with them where they did it every day. And to me, it's almost easier to do it every day than Sunday night at 10 o'clock. Like, oh, fuck, I got to write a song.
Yeah, it is that. But I mean, I've gotten to where, and I like these songs. You know, a couple, every now and then there's a stinker.
Yeah.
But I've got it where songs I feel really good about, and I can write them in like 45 minutes.
That's great.
So it's just, right? You're just kind of getting that muscle going. And so, a lot of times same words will pop up, and as I listen back,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I already said that. But it doesn't matter, right? You're just trying to structure it all.
Yeah, because really the point of the exercise, for those of you that don't know, they're these songwriting games that are just basically inspired to make you finish a song. There's a deadline, there's a prompt, could be a title, whatever. You got to put that title somewhere in the song. But it's basically the exercise is to finish a song. There's nowhere that it says it has to be great.
Right.
There's nothing worse than having like the worst song in the group when you turn it on. You know what I mean? Like that's the worst feeling.
No, I don't. I'm just kidding. I totally do. I totally do. There's some, I turn it in, I'm just like, all right, sorry. That's a song.
Yeah.
But thankfully there's not a ton of those. There's not as many as I thought there would be. But that's why, like the Blue Worm, there's a bunch of, like Tone Deaf is the name of a song.
Right.
And it's just because that was the prompt.
Right.
So a lot of the titles are just whatever the prompt was.
That's a great song. I like the title. Yes, I Feel Like Dancing. That's a good. Yeah. That was a prompt.
That was not a prompt.
Oh, really?
That's one where I just skipped out on.
I think it's the song Cecilia. Has anyone ever told you that there are times when the tone of your voice sounds like Don Henley's?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Since the record came out?
Since the record came out?
A lot.
I think that's a fucking beautiful guy. I mean, he's one of my favorite singer guys.
It is. It's awesome. But I'm also in that Eagles cover band.
Oh, you are?
Which I swore I would not do after the pandemic, but we've already played a gig and have another one booked. The Fake It to the Limit.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of Don Henley.
And who's in that? Michael Kincaid?
Bada.
Okay.
Plays drums. Naj on bass.
Well, you nailed
you. Castillo.
There's a couple of harmonies. I think on Cecilia, there's like a real Eagles vibe harmonies.
Yeah, we kind of got it. I wish we would have got into it sooner, but kind of the last couple of days, I would do a harmony, and then Bill started throwing in an extra harmony. So sometimes we would get up 4, but we just didn't realize like how well our voices blended together until right at the end, or there would have been a lot more of that. Yeah. But I think it probably worked out. It probably would have been too much if we did it on every song.
Sure. Okay, so back to Fake It to the Limit. So, you do the Henley stuff, or a lot of the Henley stuff?
I do. Well, the way it started was Bada would do the Hotel California and on.
Okay.
And I would do the earlier.
Okay.
Henley.
Okay.
So I do like Desperado and One of These Nights.
Yeah.
Best of My Love.
Yeah.
But now I'm also doing Hotel California, which is a real motherfucker to play guitar and sing that song.
Do you and Michael both go back and forth with the whole thing, or do you do the whole solo? You know how like Felder and
Jorge Castillo.
Okay.
Do you know him?
No.
Jorge. He plays in the Drakes. He's a great singer and
guitar
player.
I know him. Yeah. Sorry.
So he does more of the Joe Walsh and I'm more of the Don Felder.
Okay.
But we do it all. I mean, it's like we were getting ready. We did a gig like 2 weeks ago. And I spent a whole week, like 4 hours a day. I'm like, man, this shit is so hard. It's so hard.
So were you saying when you said you vowed you'd never do it, was you vowed you'd never do a cover band thing? Just
that. Doing a tribute. I mean, it's weird to do a tribute band.
Yeah.
It's
weird to do a cover band.
It is. I haven't done it a lot. But it's fun too.
Yeah.
But it also it's weird to me, like when we do that Eagles thing and people are like, oh, this is so great. Blah, blah. I'm like, I have a real band.
Yeah. Oh God, dude, listen.
I feel like I just walked into the saxophone for the first time this week. Oh man, you're great at Don Henley. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah.
The funny thing about the Don Henley thing, when I did my first solo record with Charles Reeser, there was a song that I did, and I thought it sounded like Don Henley. So I totally changed the way I sing. I totally changed my whole style of singing for years. I was like, well, I don't want to sound like that. I don't sound like this.
Oh no, man! I love his voice. It's beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it now. I'm just like, what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah.
What's wrong? He's one of the greatest singers ever. Like,
He really is. I've heard he's very mean though.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, there was a lady I met that worked for him, and she said she was like, just the other night I was walking by his dressing room and he threw an orange at me.
Ooh, that's mean.
Just like, hey, tour accountant, throwing shit at you.
He's like Gene Simmons.
Yeah. Boy, do I not like Gene Simmons.
That's.
Were you ever into Kiss? Did they ever get your goat?
Oh yeah.
What about now? Do you ever go back and listen to them? No.
I had to teach. I was teaching a kid the other day, and he's in School of Rock, so he was learning that song "Harder Than Hell."
Yeah.
I was just like, this is awful. Like it's so it sounds so terrible. Like the studio recording.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew the music was terrible. But like, I was just like, God, it's really bad. But I loved them. I was in third grade. Like, draw their faces on my folders. Or,
Yeah.
Somebody got me Kiss Alive 2. And I actually saw Kiss quite a bit. So I saw them when I was maybe in 7th grade when they started their makeup on, but there was no Ace Frehley.
Oh yeah.
I knew there was no Peter Criss, but I went there fully expecting to see Ace Frehley.
Right.
I was like, eh. And then I saw him like without the makeup, like the Lick It Up. It's just like the worst music ever. It's so funny. So I remember this. I was thinking about you the other day. I remember when our record company was trying to get us to write with people. I was just like, we don't do that. Like, I don't want to do that. And they were trying to get us to write, and I can't think of the guy's name.
Desmond Child?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And you were like, dude, that would be great.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? And now, and I see what now I would be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's all fun. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, why do I want, like, this guy's the worst. He's written, like, the worst songs ever. Like, why would I want to write with him? But now I'm just like, sure I would. Sure. Like, it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
At the time, everything seemed so serious.
Yeah.
Life or death. Like,
I played a showcase for him back in that time, and we talked, and it was. I mean, like I've for some reason I don't know why I knew it, but I knew he wrote "I Was Made for Loving You." Like that was a thing about that song. Like maybe a DJ talked about it or something. And his name was just the coolest name I'd ever heard.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you'd be listening to a record, a few years later, and you turn around, like, what's this song? I was weren't you a liner notes guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I'd be reading, whatever the hell, and I'd see his name and be like, shit, what? He's everywhere.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well,
especially with bad Kiss songs.
Bad Kiss songs. So, did they still have the explosions and shit when they didn't wear their makeup?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because I never saw them until '96.
I don't think there was the blood. I don't think he spit blood.
No. It seems like that would be weird without the makeup and stuff. Yeah. I don't know why. I like those. I like those studio records. For me, they just sound like a really terrible garage band that has a great idea. You know what I mean?
I do, yes.
And it's kind of exciting, as terrible as it is. But you know what, man?
Yeah.
I have these conversations with people sometimes where they'll say like something like that, but they love ZZ Top. And I'm like, well, dude, okay, so the playing's a lot better or whatever. But lyrically, it's the same, like 14-year-old lyrics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the music is so much better.
Yeah, the music is so much better. Yeah, of course. Anyway, Okay, off of Kiss. Hey, have you seen that Summer of Soul documentary?
Yes,
How awesome is that?
amazing. That's so awesome.
I
I loved it.
Yeah,
It's so much of my favorite music. So
me too. Man, that Stevie Wonder, like that drums thing,
yeah,
that is the best.
that was killer.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
And then like Sly and the Family Stone is like one of my absolute favorites.
Me
So
too.
Anytime I see some, I like they were on it. I've seen some live stuff where it's like
yeah.
pretty rough, but they were jamming.
It seemed like everyone was on it.
Yeah,
That thing.
Yeah.
Man, that David Ruffin performance is pretty unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's weird because
Yeah, I could. Yeah, he was hitting some notes. I was like, I know he did that.
yeah. That
He's like, I'm gonna hit him a lot.
yeah, he did. He kept on singing that same kind of thing like over and over in that thing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was definitely like, I can do this.
Also, his commitment to the suit in the middle of summer, because that thing,
Yeah.
it looked like it was wool or something. I was like, shit, man, there's a lot of great world music on there too. Like a lot of great Latin music.
Oh yeah.
In your
That's killer.
in your early days of being inspired by Santana, did you ever go off into any, like, have you ever explored any kind of weird Latin or
No,
No.
not really. I should.
There's a lot of really cool bands in town right now doing like this psychedelic cumbia thing.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stems from Grupo Fantasma,
Yeah.
And just kind of like
What's the Money Chico or
Money Chicha is really great.
Chicha?
Yeah. And that's like most
Is that?
most of Grupo Fantasma. Yeah.
Right.
And there's bands like Nemagate and El Combo Oscuro. Yeah, there's a whole
Where do they all play at? Like, I'm just not familiar.
one to one.
I'm playing. I'm gonna start going out more.
They're
So it's like 1-to-1 now.
They're doing 1-to-1. Yeah, Nemagate plays like Mondays at 1-to-1. Hey, do you have any gigs coming up? Like, are you doing like, did you do a record release show for this? Because it came out in May.
No. Yeah. So I'm playing August the 26th at Saxon, and I guess that's going to be my CD release because I haven't really played. I played a solo show in Dallas, and it was the first solo show I played in. 2 years, way before the pandemic.
How was that?
It was kind of like. I think the best thing was like I didn't feel that constricted throat, nervous.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, just gonna go out and play. So it was fun. Like that part was really fun. And then so for that Saxon show, my producer Bill Palmer is coming. He's gonna come do. I'm doing like 3 shows that weekend. And he's going to come do that. And then September 1st, I'm doing the Sun Radio, the live Sun Radio thing.
Oh, awesome.
So he's going to do that. I think Bernal's going to play with me on that. And then,
That's September 1st?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the saxon, Jorge's going to play with me so I get that high. He does the high harmony.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to start promoting that as my CD release, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not big on that. I'm not good at the promoting. I'm trying to figure it out.
What is that? That's a Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll be playing like after Patrice.
Okay.
And then I'm playing in Taylor. Do you know that Black Sparrow place?
Nope.
Think about that. So that's an old friend of mine, and she's had it. It's kind of a songwriter room in Taylor.
Yeah. Well, that goes well with what you're, with your new record.
Yeah, I want to play a lot. I'm ready to play and do more of that kind of stuff.
Have you ever played that, the place in LaGrange, the Bugle Boy?
Yeah, I played there with Patrice a few times. I played once by myself. That was fun.
Yeah. Seems like a
Those
cool
people are
place.
really nice. Yeah, I need to probably hit them up. And that's kind of what I want to do. I want to do the Pike and Sutton and then my own stuff. And then maybe jam around. I went and jammed with Jay Styles at Seaboys
Oh, yeah.
last week, the Monday night thing.
Dude, that guy's fucking great.
It was like the most fun I've had, and probably since the last time I played with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it ended up there were like 9 people on stage.
Yeah.
It was just get up and play music you don't know and just jamming.
Yeah.
It's all funky and like, okay, Stevie Wonder, it goes like this. And so, all right. I know.
I remember.
I'm really good at playing something really simple if I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Well, I remember seeing you pop up on stage with people when you had long
I used
hair.
to do it all the time. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like I did it all the time. I didn't think anything about it.
Yeah.
was like, let's go, woo!
Yeah.
Whereas the other night, Seaboy's like, I got as far back in the corner as I could possibly get. And if someone pointed at me, I'd play something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it was a very different feeling. It's really different. I mean, like you played a couple of gigs. Like it's weird,
Yeah.
right? If you've been playing in your room, like it's not
Yeah.
that you can't play anymore. But it was really weird, like the first time going up on stage where it's loud,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? And like you're at full volume and like
Right.
people are watching you. And
Well, we played some Skyrocket shows, but for some reason, like in March and April, we played a couple shows that got cut short by like an hour. But our thing is like 3 hours.
right.
And so we just played the thing, like we had a gig on Thursday and then a gig on Saturday. And on Friday when I woke up, all I could think was like, God, thank God we don't have a show today. Like I felt like I had been hit by a bus, and then I thought it was just me. And so I went to the rest of the band and I was like, dude, anybody feel bad? They were like, dude, I didn't even get out of bed. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly our first gig. We played right when the Saxon opened up, and like just having to be next to a bass amp, right? That like kicks the shit out of your body. even if
Yeah,
you're not
man.
thinking about it, right? Like it's not hurting your ears, but it's like someone's just pounding you.
yeah, yeah,
So that part was tough, but I feel like I'm getting back into it. But I do, like after playing with Jay, I was like, man, I really want to go find some more of that. Like,
Yeah.
just go play.
Who plays drums on that gig? Sniz?
No, it's
Some other guy?
yeah, he plays with the Deer.
Oh, yeah. I love that band.
Alex, he's a great drummer.
Yeah.
Blanking his name. I played with a couple times. He's awesome.
It's weird. There's still so much good music here. There's a lot of complaining,
Tons,
I think,
right?
that happens with people. And I think that stuff happens because they've been given so much stuff that they kind of expect more. Like there's no fucking health insurance or
Yeah.
mental health stuff or, Austin Music Foundation in Dallas.
No, I know. It's we live in a very complaining,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and there's legitimate complaints. Like
there
what
are
we went
certainly
through
are.
last summer, like with the racial imbalance in sort of the
Yeah.
way this town is presented musically, which is
Yeah.
is totally valid. But then there's
Yes.
the I don't want to pay rent. You know what I mean? Like I moved
wanna
here
pay-
because
I-
it was cool and it was cheap, and you're like, yeah, well, that's what happens when a place is cool.
Yeah.
Then it becomes
It
Brooklyn.
was cheap. It was cheap like 30 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. It hasn't been cheap for a long time.
No, not at all.
But there is, and there are people that need help. But I feel there's a lot of people that just need to work. Too.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I work.
yeah,
It's not always it's fun. Like I like it.
yeah,
And I kind of slid into it, and it's awesome.
yeah.
So I feel like part of that's luck. Part of it's like I played a good game at my school. I like my school.
Yeah.
I love it. I tell them I love it, and they're like, "Okay, we like you too." And it's great. Like it's been an awesome thing. But I'm also like, so I work.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't have all these things. I haven't been able to get ham for.
All right, you priced out.
Yeah, so I'm just like,
Thank God, dude.
so I'm certainly sympathetic, and I did get it, and they helped me a lot at a certain time.
Sure.
But I'm just like, I don't have that. I don't have any of these things.
No, it's a difficult thing, like we were saying earlier, to not be on the very top or like in a hardworking cover band or in,
Right.
you know what I mean? Just to be Wayne and just going around playing Wayne's tunes, making a living is a very difficult thing to do at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was for a long time before. It wasn't too.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy when I was, for the first 3 or 4 years I was playing gigs.
Yeah.
It's hard as shit. Like I didn't make any money.
I guess not.
So there's money to be made. I don't know. I do feel like we have a little our and I like I said, I try to be sympathetic, but I do feel like our music
Community.
community sometimes is a little like
Yeah.
little overly entitled.
Yeah. Well, I think
I'm like, man, it's art. This is the way art's always been. And
Yeah.
yes, we would all like it to be better.
well, like
And we would all hopefully get paid better.
yeah, rich artists was a thing that happened in the 20th century. Like there was no rich artist before that ever.
Yeah.
There was no such thing.
Yeah.
Either somebody funded you, like the king, or the Medici family, or some shit.
Yeah, right.
Otherwise, you're just fucking painting shit. You had to die for people to dig it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, well, man, this has been great talking to you. It's been kind of scattered, sorry, but it's
all right.
fun to
No,
talk
it's
to you,
good.
catching up on all the different things.
Yeah.
Your
Always great to talk to you.
Blue Worm, the record's available wherever you stream and download jams. Get out there and check it out. August 26th, Saxon Pub CD release. Wednesday, September 1st, Wero's the Sun radio thing. Hopefully you'll get to get a Susanna Chauffel out there.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I always want to see her.
Do you ever
I'm trying
play
to rope her to a gig right now.
Did you ever play at Cosmic? Have you ever played there?
I just played once with the Eagles.
Okay.
Eagles band. It was awesome.
Do the Eagles does Fake It to the Limit do public shows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mostly public shows. Yeah.
Are there any coming up that I could see?
No, the next thing that we have booked, we just played like a Friday night at Saxon.
It seems like it would be really fun. I have to be honest.
It is. We before the pandemic, we were starting to play a lot, which made it.
That can
less
get
fun.
weird. Yeah.
I mean, it got easier
Yeah.
and less stressful, but it just kind of, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like people start offering, I want you to do this and this, and you could do this and tour. Like, I want to tour in a tribute band.
No, that
That's
sounds
not my
weird.
that is not my rock and roll dream.
Do you remember JJ in Corpus, that promoter guy?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay,
oh yeah.
from Cantina Santa Fe and stuff. He had this place. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it was when he, like in the mid '90s, he shifted around different places for a while, and
Yeah, the kind of dancey place, right?
yeah.
We-
I played there too. But we did this show at a different place. It was a strip mall place, some weird strip mall place. And we opened for a Kiss tribute band. And we talked to one of the dudes afterwards. And you got to ask Einar about this because it's really hilarious. The dude was like in the headspace of being in Kiss. Like,
Yeah.
there was kind of like a thing where you start talking to him. And then after a little while, you want to go like, man, you realize you're not Peter Criss, right?
Yeah.
Like, please
Yeah,
tell me you
yeah,
realize that. Yeah. That's where I think that would be scary.
But yeah, here's a weird one before we go. I was talking Bruce Salmon.
Yeah.
You know Bruce, right?
Yeah.
He was doing a thing for a while, like doing these private events where he would go and be. Well, he might still do it. I don't know. Where he would be Willie Nelson. So he would like play, right? But he's going around. So if it's like some corporate thing, and he would play some songs, but he was also like he would go around throughout the night, like he was supposed to act like he was Willie Nelson.
Oh, with like the beard and everything?
Willie Nelson stories.
Wow.
Like I was just like, you're doing what? So that's kind of sounds more awesome.
Wow, that's intense.
I was just like, what?
It would be funny if part of that job was you had to smoke a whole bunch of weed before you went in there because
he said people always were trying to get him to smoke. It's like,
Have you ever met Willie before we go?
I have not.
No.
I have not.
Me neither.
It's very unfortunate.
I know.
I haven't given up yet.
No, me neither. He's still out there, man. He's doing it.
Yeah. His last record after that Bob Dylan record came out was really fucking great too.
I should go listen to it.
It's really good.
He's got so many records. He's done so much stuff. Remember he did that record with Snoop Dogg?
He just keeps pumping them out.
Yeah.
That's why he's the greatest.
That's why he's the greatest. Dude, your record, Blue Worm, is fantastic. I'm really...
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it gave me a lot of... I like it. I like that there's dudes that were getting older, but no one's being weird and like doing the Great American Songbook or something.
Right. I'm
know-
not that old yet.
Well, no, well, you know what I mean, but taking that like that Rod Stewart turn where you're like, I give up, man.
Yeah. Yes. I'm not there yet.
Well, your songs are fucking incredible, and the record's incredible. You guys did a great job, and
brother.
congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for doing the show, buddy.
All right. I hope I get to hug you soon.
Me too.
Tears are frozen, clouds are swollen, grim devotion set in motion, and the judge says all objections are denied. And the man
That was Wayne Sutton, his record Blue Worm, available now wherever it is that you stream and download your jams. Get out there and get involved with it. He'll be playing August 26th at the Saxon Pub as of now for his album release show. He's also doing September 1st at Warro's for the Sun Radio show. So get out there and get involved. Dig this song Whiplash I'm playing. And gang, don't forget when you're out there looking up Wayne Sutton, finding his Facebook page and whatnot, don't forget that you can like our Facebook page. How did I get here? It's available there. It's been up there for 10 years. Follow us. You'll get pictures of people I do podcasts with. You'll get updates of what's going on, and you'll just be generally informed on the show. Okay? And don't forget, if you're not subscribed to this podcast, you can subscribe to it on Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Overcast, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere you find new podcasts, your podcast, you will get new podcasts. At least two every week. Okay? Let's listen to this great song, Whiplash. Have a great weekend, whatever it is you're doing. Stay safe. Get vaccinated if you're not vaccinated. Stay safe. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. Let's get down.
Saw it coming now. I'm finding my way out of here again. Engine stalling, old men brawling, city sprawling, children calling. It's the mothers who start to disappear. Clutches slipping, clouds are tripping, scales are tipping, flag is ripping, and it's sold out by the auctioneer. Brides are showing, horns are blowing, secrets flowing, game on going, and the fighter sitting here is gonna fold. Captain staring, boys swearing, queens are pairing, all declaring that these walls ain't ever gonna hold. And a man of many faces always leaves traces in every place he's been. And I should have started running, but I never saw it coming. Now I'm finding my way out of here again. Ghosts are crying, beggars buying, horses flying, dreams are dying, and there's laughter in the corner of the room. Bulls are crashing, whips are lashing, doors are smashing, diamonds flashing, and they try to fight their way inside the womb. Falling ceiling, triple dealing, open stealing, suckers kneeling, and they're crawling at the altar of the fool. Shameless talking, whispers mocking, windows locking, nothing shocking as you head into the valley of the mule. The man of many faces always leaves traces in every place he's been. And I should have started running, but I never saw it coming. Now I'm fighting my way out of here.